صاحب الجلالة صاحب السمو الملكي
Your Royal
أصحاب
Highness,
السعادة
Your Excellencies,
أعضاء اللجنة المشرفة
members of the committee, ladies and gentlemen, wish you a very good day. Thank you very much for the Nobel Committee for granting me such an honor with such a prize with my friend, Dr. Magwe, who works very hard to do whatever it takes in order to help those people who are victims for sexual abuse and to be a voice for those women who have been abused. Today I'd like to talk to you from my heart, to share with you my life and the life of the Yazidi society in Iraq. I want to tell you how ISIL have decided to eradicate one of the Iraqi components through abusing women and killing men and destroying workplaces. Today is a very special day for me. It's the day where right is victorious, humanity is victorious, terrorism is defeated. It's the day where women and children are victorious after so long time of being victims. I hope that today will represent a new era where peace will be all over the place and the world, the whole world, will work to put and develop a new roadmap to protect women and children and to eradicate the sexual abuses. I have been always a young lady in my village. I then have no information about the Nobel Prize. I had no information about the conflicts and killings in the world. I had no knowledge about the humanity can commit such crimes as any young lady. My dream was to end my secondary school and to have a makeup artist salons in my village, and the dream has turned to be a nightmare, and what is never been expected has taken place, a genocide. And as a result of this genocide, I have lost my mother, I have lost 6 of my brothers and sisters, I have lost my nephews. All Yazidi family, or every Yazidi family, has similar story, painful story. Our life has changed in a way that we cannot absorb or even understand how every Yazidi family has been displaced and how this component has been shattered. How a whole community who is peaceful and tolerant is used to be fuel to a war. Throughout our history, we have suffered a lot of genocide campaigns because of our religion and our beliefs. And due to this, or to these genocides, we have only few members in Turkey. And in Syria, we were about 80,000. Today, maximum 5,000 Yazidis in Syria. The Yazidis in Iraq are facing the same. The numbers are decreasing and decreasing, and ISIL goal to eradicate this religion might be achieved if we couldn't save what must be saved. It's the same in Iraq for all minorities, as the Iraqi government and the government of Kurdistan failed to protect these minorities. The international community has also failed to protect us from ISIL. They were just watching and seeing what's going on without a real move to protect us, our houses, our families, our traditions, our people, our dignity, our dreams, they have all gone. We get some international and local sympathy because of this genocide, but the genocide is still going on. The threat is ongoing. The Yazidis' conditions in the prisons of ISIL is the same. They are still in the camps. Nothing has been built after being destroyed by ISIL. Those perpetrators have not been yet taken to justice. We need not more sympathy, but we need a sort of a translation into an action on the ground. If the international community is serious to help the victims of this genocide, and if we want the Yazidis to go back to their homeland and to their places, and if they want the Yazidis to restore their confidence, the international community then has to protect the Yazidis under the supervision of the United Nations. Without international protection, no guarantees will be there of being away from any campaigns or any genocides. The international community has to abide by the methods of protecting those who are victims of these genocides. Today is a very special day for all Iraqis, not only because I'm the first Iraqi Nobel laureate, but because it's the day we celebrate the liberation of all Iraqi land and territories from ISIL. All Iraqis from south to north have been unified and fought on behalf of the world, the ISIL. The Iraqis have been unified to face the ISIL and their thoughts, and together we made it clear to the world that they are criminals. We need to work together. We need to be unified to fight ISIL, and we need to welcome all those who made efforts. We also need to condemn all who joined ISIL to control and dominate the Iraqi territories. The ISIL thoughts must not be there in Iraq anymore. We need to be together to work for the development of our country, for the development of the components of Iraq, and to bring peace and stability to Iraq. We need to remember every day how ISIL and those sympathizers have attacked the Yazidis in a brutal way in 2014 in order to get rid of this component from Iraq. ISIL has committed this crime and this genocide against us just because we are Yazidis and we have different traditions and different beliefs. On the 20th and the 21st centuries and in the globalization time, the human rights era, more than 6,500 Yazidis, women and children have been sold and have been victimized. Despite all the calls since 2014, still the future of more than 3,000 Yazidis, women and children is unknown under ISIL. Girls have been sold. Girls have been bought and sold. Is it possible that no one cares? The leaders of 195 countries worldwide to work hard to liberate these girls as if they are part of a commercial deal or weapon shipments. I think in this case of weapons shipments or economic deals, the efforts will be more and more than the efforts being exerted to liberate the Yazidis, children and women. thousands have been suffering. Every single day I heard children in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen yelling and crying. Every day hundreds of women in Africa and other countries, they are fuel to wars and projects for being killed without being held, and the perpetrators are not taken to justice. 4 years ago, I have been here and there to tell the story of myself and the story of my community without achieving even a single hope, and without being able to fight sexual abuse against women and children. If no justice is there, the genocide will be repeated against us and against all the vulnerable communities. Justice is the only way to achieve peace to everyone. If we need not rapes to be repeated again, we have to take those perpetrators to justice, those who resorted to sexual abuse against women. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you all for the honor you bestowed on me, but no prize in the world can restore our dignity but justice, and taking the perpetrators to justice. No honor. No honor and will replace our families, our beloved ones who lost their lives for nothing but being Yazidis. No prize can restore our life between and amongst our friends and families, and to protect the remnants of our societies. These days, we remember the 70th anniversary of the United Nations agreement to stop genocides and to punish perpetrators of genocides. My community is living under genocides for more than 4 years. The international community doesn't prevent this genocide, but the international community failed to stop it and failed to bring the killers to justice. A lot of sufferings are there all over the world. All over the world, they are victims of genocide and victims of other crimes. Protecting the Yazidis and all the vulnerable societies is the responsibility of the international community and the concerned organizations to protect the human rights and to protect minorities. Protection of human rights for children and for women, particularly in areas where conflicts are happening. I have participated in the Paris Peace Conference, and it was the 100th anniversary of the end of the World First War, but how many genocides, how many wars have taken place and happened since the end of the World War I? The victims are numerous. The victims are massive. We, the world, have to acknowledge that we have failed to put an end to the wars and to the genocides. Yes, conflicts and problems are all over the place, but also there are initiatives and efforts to help the victims. Without Baden-Württemberg and Krishman and their help, I wouldn't be ever able to enjoy my freedom today and to talk about ISIL and to tell the world about the crimes and tell the world about what happened to Yazidis. That's why all the victims need a safe place until they get full justice. Education is important in developing the societies that believe in tolerance and in peace. We need to invest in our children. The children are a white paper. We can teach them tolerance and peace and coexistence instead of hatred. And women must be the key to sort out all the problems. Women have to be part and parcel of the efforts of bringing peace. The voice of women could achieve a lot of changes the world wide. I'm very proud of the Yazidis. They are patient. I'm proud of the Yazidis because despite everything, we are fighting, still fighting to get our right. The Yazidis live in tolerance and in peace, and the Yazidis have to be an example to the world. Finally, let me seize this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who have helped my message. Thank you for my team. Thank you to my partner, Abid, who never let me down. Thank you to all countries that acknowledged the genocide against the Yazidis and offered some help to the Yazidis. Thank you to Canada, Australia, that are safe haven for the victims from the Yazidis. Thank you for the United Kingdom for the help and initiative and forming an international team to investigate the crimes against ISIL. Thank you to France and President Macron for their efforts. Thank you to the Kurdistan, Iraq, for helping the displaced 4 years ago. Thank you to the Emir of Kuwait and the Norway government for the initiatives to hold the conference of reconstruction of Iraq. Thank you for the lawyer Amal Clooney and her team who exerted a lot of efforts to bring ISIL to justice. Thank you for the Greek government. We need to be unified against torture. We need to have one high voice. No to violence and yes for peace. No for tyranny and yes for freedom. Yes for the human rights to everyone. No to exploiting women and children. Yes for having a dignity and life with dignity for them. No for the perpetrators to be not taken to the justice. Yes for bringing justice. Thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you very much for being for us, and we wish you all peace.